All right, our next speaker is Senator Jim DeMint, and I see that some other people are filing in for it, but I think he'll allow me for us to take the seventh inning stretch by standing up and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Born and free-born.
Thank you. So now, Senator Jim DeMint, who has written a book called Falling in Love with America Again. Senator DeMint served in the House, the U.S. House from 99 to 2000, and then was the senator from South Carolina until he joined the Heritage Foundation as president in 2013. DeMint has a long record of public service, of fighting for freedom and conservative principles. He continues to advocate for limited government, individual liberty, a strong national defense, and traditional American values. Jim DeMint is also the author of the book, Saving Freedom, We Can Stop America's Slide into Socialism. In the Senate, Senator DeMint was a leader in the fight against Obamacare, the misguided 2007 amnesty bill, and against any intrusive United Nations treaty. Please welcome Senator Jim DeMint. He's not here? Oh, well, I should have made the Pledge of Allegiance go twice as long, huh? Okay, well, I'll just, as long as I have you as a captive audience, I'll give you a promo since we have some other people who have filed in here to hear some of our next speakers. After Senator DeMint, we have Senator Rick Santorum, and then we have a program on guns and gun rights given by Emily Miller. And the three speakers in the afternoon, I think, will be tremendously exciting. Andrew McCarthy, talking about a book that he's written about building the case for Obama's impeachment. Ann Coulter, who I assume needs no introduction. And then, what I'm most excited about, a little story about Calvin Coolidge, one of my most favorite presidents, who, if you don't know anything about him, he took a red line to the entire budget and truly cut spending, just in a tremendous way. So if you don't know your history, it's worth brushing up on that. So that's what's coming up today on this fabulous program. Now, Senator Jim DeMint, come on up. I've already introduced you. You missed it.
Well, I'm glad I showed up.
Yeah, I am too. Welcome.
How are you? Well, great. Got everybody spread out. Thanks for coming. I guess I need to use the microphones here?
Please, because you're being taped.
Oh, okay. Well, great. Well, thanks for being here. This is an opportunity for us every year at Heritage to hear from you, but also to kind of share a little news of the things that we're doing. And I think it's important. First of all, I appreciate the group, particularly Phyllis, for her longevity in the movement. So many of folks who claim to be on our side come and go or tend to be tempted away to the wrong ideas, but I sure appreciate Phyllis's strong stand over so many years. So thanks for all of you for being here. I just wanted to take a few moments to just talk about this whole concept of being conservative. What does it mean? Sometimes the political labels get confusing. Probably all of you here consider yourself conservative in some way, but sometimes we don't talk about what it is that we're trying to conserve. And if you take the political labels off and think about what it is that we're talking about, what is the other side talking about, it really comes down to two basic ideas. When you confront a problem or a situation, there tends to be a gut instinct of some folks, if there's a problem, that we want to tell people what to do. You've probably run into them as hall monitors in school or whatever. They want to have the rules. They want everybody to do the same thing. They're not comfortable unless everyone is being told what to do. I see that a lot in Washington. You see a problem out somewhere across the country. They want to make a law that forces everyone to do something. I mean, there's another gut instinct that comes from, me and a lot of people who share my same beliefs, is that whenever you can, when there's a problem, let people work that out for themselves. Let them come up with their own solution. Let people, maybe in different parts of the country, come up with different solutions so that we can compare what works and what doesn't and what works best. And I guess the misconception today is that if you standardize everything and make everybody do the same thing, that somehow that's going to make everything better, that that's going to improve life for everyone. When in fact that it's very often the opposite. When you standardize everything across 50 states, you lose the opportunity to have 50 states competing to do things the best way, and 50 states learning from the states next to them of how to do something better. You know, in the business world, we call it continuous quality improvement and comparing ourselves with best practices in other companies, always looking at the competitors and other people and what they're doing. And what happens is one person will do it better, another person will do it better, and you keep getting better and better. But what we've seen happen in America, when we began as a country that was very decentralized, that so much of what is good about America was really built from the ground up. It didn't come from the government down. It came from the people and the little platoons, as Edmund Burke talked about, of families, of church groups, of small businesses, of little shops, of volunteer organizations, helping each other, building their communities. That's not only what works in America, that's what made us the best and greatest and most compassionate nation in history. It's also what creates our love for each other. We're not patriots and lovers of America because of a big federal government. We love our country because of the people that are closest to us, our families, our communities, the people that we know, the opportunities that we have to do things for ourselves. It's not what other people do for us. It's a very different philosophy than central planning and central management, which goes back to where I started. The people sitting here over here in the Capitol, so many of them, it's not about making you free. It's about controlling your life, believing they know better than you do how to make decisions. And when you start looking at the different issues, you can really see how this breaks out. Because for several decades in Washington, the people who wanted to control things have been succeeded in so many areas. I mean, the federal government now has so much control over areas of our lives such as education, certainly health care, managing our energy resources, our transportation system, our banking and mortgage system, which means they control housing, a lot of the finance in our country, which drives a lot of our total economy, and through regulations of almost every area of our lives. The control is coming out of Washington under this idea that they're helping us. I mean, there are a lot of good intentions here, but there is an old saying that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I can promise you the roads all around Washington, D.C. are paved with that same material. People here claiming that they're going to help you by controlling your life. The difference in philosophy between conservatives and progressives is our ideas are based on those principles that we can see made this country strong and great, created the best life that has ever been created for humankind. It never was perfect. You can always find problems with it. But there's never been a nation like the United States of America. And we have done more not only to improve our own lives, but people's lives all over the country, all over the world. Our ideas of free markets and free enterprise are doing more to lift people out of poverty than any government program in the world. You can look at the statistics around the world, and our own index of economic freedom is keeping track of which countries are doing the right things to lift themselves up. And you can see what that does to improve the lives of people. And ironically and unfortunately, so many countries around the world are copying those principles that made us prosperous while we're going the other way. But the key here is that we're not talking about two theories. And we're not arguing about things that we're not sure about, what works and what doesn't. As a conservative, you can go boldly out into the country and talk about this idea of limited government in a vibrant civil society, of how less taxes and less regulation